Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Motivate Podcast Show. I'm your host, Rich Wall Street Williams. And again, today I have my lovely bride with me, Mrs. Leslie Williams. Say hi to the people, Mrs. Williams.
Hi, people.
Hi, people. We're so excited and honored today. This month, our focus has been on marriages. And what started this whole process for me is I read books on how to win in finances. I read books on how to win in business. I even read books on how to win in sports, but I couldn't find much information on how to win in your marriage. So I decided to concentrate and focus in on how to win in marriages. And today we have our special guests, these two lovely, ignited, fiery people. They're from the the DC metro area. George and Lee Mia. Hey, say hi to the people, George and Mia.
Good day, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, so tell us a little bit about yourself, George and Mia. Who you are, where you're from, what are some things that you're doing, and we're gonna just get right into it, man.
Hey, sounds like a plan. So my name is George Lee. I am married to this beautiful woman right here to my right. My pastor and mentor says that she's the product of my intelligent choice, and so
you must be pretty smart.
Yeah, I am. I'm a smart guy. Stick with me, and she has been sticking with me. It'll be 21 years married in November. November 21st, so 21 on 21. So,
that was cute.
Well, wait, y'all look like you're 28.
Right, they got married.
Hey, we'll take it. Hey, flattery will get you cash app. So, we understand.
Flattery get you cash app. I like that. Awesome. So, man, how do you guys meet?
We actually met. I don't know if we can say this, but we met at McDonald's.
Wait, what's your name, woman?
My name is Shamia Lee.
Yeah.
I'm Shamia Lee.
And you're intelligent too, because
I'm intelligent. I'm pretty intelligent because I chose you.
Highly intelligent.
Yeah, there we go.
My name is Shamia Lee. And we've been married, as George said, 21 years. It'll be 21 years in November. We have 3 children, ages 20, 19, and 12.
We're originally from Philadelphia.
Philly. Go Eagles.
What part? Central, South Philly, what part?
We South Philly. South Philadelphia. Born and
the
raised.
funniest thing is that we lived down the street from each other, but didn't meet each other like in the neighborhood. We actually met at McDonald's. We both started working there. And then when we found out where each other lived, like, you live right down the street from me. But I didn't hang out around those parts.
Here we go.
We're gonna come back to that one. What parts?
There we go.
But thank you guys for having us.
For sure.
Yeah, it's our pleasure,
Absolutely.
man. Our focus, as I said at the beginning, is winning in marriage. And when I started to put together an all-star list, I said, you know what, I had to have George and Mia on this list of all-star. Remember the Dream Team?
Yes, sir.
So this month is conversations, about the Dream Team. But I said, you mentioned the parts. I told you I was going to get back to the part. Mia, you said those parts. What parts was she referencing, George? I'm just curious.
I didn't hang in our neighborhood, so I didn't go to the neighborhood schools or anything like that. So I didn't really know a lot of people in my neighborhood. Okay. And actually, I hung out in another part of Philadelphia with my girlfriend. So I didn't really know people in my surrounding neighborhood. So I actually met a lot of people in my neighborhood working at the McDonald's. And that's how I met, this fine gentleman.
This fine gentleman.
I scooped him up near some nuggets.
Oh, snap.
I think it was the fast chicken. I don't know.
Now we just moved to the PG rating. Yeah, man, that's good, man, because, and one of the part of the conversation this month has been about, 4 C's as it relates to in marriage, the commitment, communication. We did say cell phone. Some people, cell phone may not see cell phone as an issue, and then staying connected. So when George and Mia, when you think about commitment in a marriage, what are some of the things that come to your mind?
When I think about commitment, that's a great question. Stuck.
Stuck. I'm stuck.
Are you saying
you stuck in this fine person that she stroked your shoulder, but she's stuck? I understand.
No, really, but like not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
Well, that's good. That's good you said that, Shamia, because when you said stuck, I didn't see the word stuck like stuck.
Right.
I saw the word as like I am stuck in the mud. How am I getting out?
That's how I saw it.
I'm glad you clarified that, because there's, there's two definitions. So you'll have to elaborate a little bit more on that for us.
Yeah. So what I mean by stuck is like, I'm stuck in this, right? So it's almost like having something stuck to you and you can't get it off, right? But I don't want to get it off. You know what I mean? Like I'm stuck in this, like there's nothing that can get me off of this. You know what I mean? No situation, no, a lot of people unfortunately will like be really good in their marriage and really committed in their marriage until something happens. And that's usually when we hear a lot about divorce or separation. Typically it's finances. And I work in a finance world, and I have to, unfortunately, I do speak to a lot of people who just recently got out of a marriage and they're trying to buy a home on their own. And usually it's a financial situation. And we've had financial situations, but it didn't move us. Now we have had times, I'm not even going to hold you. We have had times where I'm like, I don't know about this guy. I don't want to be stuck.
You start stroking your shoulders.
I want to be unstuck, Lord. Get out of this one. But really, in all seriousness, like for me, I'm just committed to this. Like, and back then, I don't think I was as mature as I am now. I'm much more mature now. But at this point in my life, at this point in my life, there's really nothing that can come my way that's going to make me unstuck from him or no longer committed, because you guys asked about commitment. I'm committed to him. And to me, commitment is sticking something through no matter what comes your way. And I Rich, you elaborated on a dream team. And when anybody thinks of any type of dream team in any type of industry, you think about the winning team, right? I'm pretty sure they experienced some things that caused them to want to give up, but they didn't. And that's why now the world will recognize them as a dream team. Well, I want us to be a dream team. I want other couples to look at us and not like, hashtag relationship goals, but more so how we got through things, because we've been through some things. And a lot of people don't know that because they see where you are now, but it's some things we've been through that not a lot of people probably would have gotten through.
So true.
Go ahead, George. Your commitment.
No, it's definitely true. You asked, you threw that out, Rich, about commitment, and the first thing that came to me was it's a decision that you don't back out of. Right. It's when you make a decision, when you make a commitment, I'm locked. I like to think of it more like I'm locked in. Right. I love sports, and I love like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, some of the greats that, and then they'll talk about, hey, I was committed. I was telling Mia some time ago, I was talking to my team and I was sharing with them about commitment. And I played a video from Kobe Bryant and how he said, I signed a contract in my mind this season that I was going to be committed and I wasn't going to back out. So it was a decision that he made that I'm not negotiating. I'm not getting lawyers. I'm not vacillating back and forth. No, I'm in this no matter if I'm hurt, no matter if my other teammates are doing well or not, the coaches, fans, whatever. I'm committed. It's a decision that I'm locked into that I'm not backing out of. So
absolutely, man.
I just have a prettier version. Stuck. Just no.
You're right. You stuck. I love that, man. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna need that video clip. I love it.
Yes, sir.
You said he made a contract in his mind.
He made a contract in his mind. The guy asked him, what makes you so successful? Why do you go hard season after season? What makes you so different? And he said, I signed a contract in my mind that I will not back out of this season, no matter how tough or how rough or how challenging it may be.
And then one of the things I heard in that, George, is that as it relates to a marriage and relationship and commitment, there's a decision that we're making that's outside of the team or the connection of to my wife. You know what I'm saying? So there's an internal decision that Kobe made as it relates to his personal success. And then secondly, the commitment to the team. And then thirdly, there was the team and fans benefited from that personal decision that he made, right? And oftentimes we make decisions. When I'm saying we, I'm just talking about not necessarily us, but people in general. Let me just clarify that. They make decisions, and that decision is based upon how they feel. I'm sure in your relationship, Mia touched on it a little bit, that you was like, I ain't feeling this, right?
Yeah. There've been some times I think when we start looking back on our history together, and like a lot of it, you know what, to be completely candid, those times of pressure came as a result of finances.
Always.
How about
we used to always say that, like, at one point we didn't have any issues but finances. That was the only issue, and I think everyone can probably relate to that. Even if you feel, some people are at a financial place in their life right now where they may be well above others. However, they still may feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck. And it's based on your decisions on how you spend your money. Pastor Mike's talking about right now, keeping more of your money. And I'm feeling that. I had to start going through some stuff, because George is the problem in our house. He spend like crazy. No, it's really
he's a spender.
I was going to say, tell the truth, shame the devil.
There you go.
So maybe who's the spender in our relationship, though?
Well, it depends. I mean, because I can spend money, but I think when I spend money, I spend money on the household.
She does. That's true.
Right. I do the grocery shopping.
Right. That's true.
If, the house needs something, if, furniture or whatever, I do that part.
Hey, man, one time I came home from work.
But he can spend some money too.
I can. Tell the truth, shaming the devil again. Hey, man, one time I came home from work and I saw these huge boxes in the living room. So what are these? She said, baby, my chairs came. Where did these chairs come? I got them on Amazon. You mean there's not a store down the street that we can buy chairs?
We don't live in that part of town no more.
Hey, George, I'm wondering if the Amazon driver, every time he sees our address come up, go, oh, no. Because I'm in big boxes coming to the house.
You're going to charge her a heavy lifting fee.
Well, no, my mom's at home, so she'll have them bring it in the house.
Oh, Lord Jesus. But yeah, anyway. Man, but that's good, man, because a lot of times, man, even in sales, I know both of you, Mia mentioned, you mortgages, Fairway Mortgage, I think. Is it Fairway Mortgages?
Yeah.
And George, you're in, where are you?
On Legacy Power, doing solar.
Right. So I'm sure you're seeing out in that arena that people are moved by their feelings as it relates to their assignment and their commitment. Like in selling real estate, Mia, you could probably connect with this. I'll get a client on the contract, and we got a settlement date, and was like, don't do anything crazy. Then all of a sudden you'll pop up, they spend something on a credit card.
Yes.
And then that debt to income ratio shift. You're like, dude. One time I had a lady bought a $5,000 poodle and had it shipped to her house. I said, does a poodle help you with your taxes?
A poodle.
A dog. A dog. She ordered a $5,000 dog and had it shipped to her house.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's crickets on that one. Where's my okay, here it is.
Yeah, where's the cricket sound?
Okay. But so people get in and out of commitments based upon their feelings. But what you're saying, you're stuck.
What's up?
You're
locked
stuck,
in.
Right? You're plugged in, right? So, and then part of that is you guys got to communicate about your commitment, right? I'm sure you have either daily, weekly, monthly, whatever. You got rules of engagement, as I call it, right? In that commitment. So talk a little bit about, what does the language sound like when you make that type of commitment?
But let me jump in real quick.
Yes,
I think the thing that stuck out to me the most, again, is Rich touched on it, the contract that Colby made to himself in his mind. Now, when you look at it for a couple, we got a contract too, right? When we said those vows to each other, that's a contract. That's a contract that we made. And the thing is, we're not just making that contract with our significant other, but we should be making that contract, like Colby, with ourselves. But we should be writing that contract, not just on our mind, but we should be writing that contract on the tablet of our heart.
Right.
Mhm.
You can't break a contract like that, right? That's
Yeah.
your belief system. That's where your subconscious mind is.
Yeah.
And that's where it solidifies. Look, no matter, you can do something out of your heart and not even think about it, because
So
that's
true.
your belief system.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Kobe. He wrote that thing here. I don't know if he realized it was in his heart.
Right.
When he moved on that thing, when his
Absolutely.
actions lined up with that contract in his mind,
Yes.
that contract in his mind superseded the contract that he made writing with the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what made him rise to the top,
Mhm.
because he committed himself to the contract with the team, but to the contract that he made with himself.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. Well, that's what I want. My thought is I want
You
to
can
get
say
away
me.
from the camp commit, like
Right.
telling people what they need to
No,
do.
no, but this is the platform
that's
that you
what-
can say that, because
But
it's
people that've done that
Yeah.
in their life,
right.
those marriages are the marriages that
Wow.
are sticking and staying together, because that
Yeah.
contract is a belief system, and it's not easy breaking through a belief system.
No,
You're in
you
it,
absolutely, Leslie, you absolutely right. What I heard in that, there's a lot of people that veer off from what they know they should be doing based
Mhm.
upon their feelings.
Mhm.
And then what I also find, like being a manager, right? So I oversee a lot of people, and for me, a statement that I make to them is, don't get mad at the results that you didn't get from the work that you didn't put in,
Mm.
right? And
Tell
so
my guy, manager, can I come work for you?
doors always open, brother.
I know
Always.
that's right.
But you know, I find that a lot of people get mad about the results that they have in their life, and then we're talking about marriage. They get mad at the results in their marriage, but they're not willing to put in the work. In fact, to some people, they think that that's a 4-letter cuss word is work,
Mm.
right?
Wow.
It's work to be able to make sure that we're communicating, we're talking, we're engaging. I'm getting her thoughts, she's getting mine. And we're having that level of exchange, and as a result, it's helped us elevate close to these 21 years, where in those times and in those years and in those moments where we did want to give up, cave in, and quit, you know, the commitment and the that we had to ourselves, the decision, the locked in, the stuckness feeling, those times of communication allows you to be sticky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think for us too, is that for me, when some people will ask me, like, how did you stay with George so long? I think how we
It's the dimple. It's the dimple. That's what it is.
It's the
That's
dimple.
what it is.
I got
It's the
dimples
dimple.
too. I got them
Come
too.
on, Doc. Come on, Doc. We live alike. We live alike.
Amen.
all right now.
It's probably gotten a couple contracts though. I don't know.
But George and I started out as friends, you know, so we were friends first. Yeah, like, so I didn't meet him on a blind date, or nobody hooked us up. I think sometimes it depends on how people start too, because for some people, when they're dating, you're trying to impress each other. You know what I mean? So you're not really showing your real self. Like, will the real you please show up next time in this? Right. So we knew each other like friends. So I didn't have anything to hide from him. He didn't have anything to hide from me. In fact, on our first date, I think we went to Fridays.
Yeah, we was at Fridays.
He took me to Fridays. So I got a cheeseburger, and I'm cutting my cheeseburger up, because I always cut my cheeseburger up. I still do to this day.
She slices it in 4 slices.
I sliced it in 4. Because if you bite on one side, it spills out the other. So I like it all to be together. So I'm cutting my cheeseburger, and he's like, "You don't got to be cute for me." I'm like, "Ain't nobody trying to be cute for you. That's how I eat." Like, just saying, like, we didn't start with trying to impress each other. So when it's like moments of being real, we can go there because we've been that with each other prior. And when my husband gets on my nerves, I still feel for my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's still my friend.
Yeah.
That's
My
right.
friend.
Shamia, that is such a good point. And I'm glad you brought it up because that's how Rich and I started. We started off as friends. And I didn't think about it until a couple weeks after we've been in the conversations. But that is such a anchor in a relationship is the way you start off. And so that because when you go through those trying times, you got to think about not only am I giving up my husband, if you want to get out, right? But you giving up your best friend.
Mhm.
Like, I know for me, it was like when we had our moments and it's like, okay, how can I get unstuck? How can I was looking at the other unstuck way. Like I'm stuck, but how can I get out of this tar? He said, boo. I mean, there was a series of things because you don't just wake up one day and say, I'm leaving. Right? It's premeditated, right?
Mhm.
Premeditated. Divorce is premeditated.
That is
There's
true.
a series of things that you think of to justify why you should get out of it, right? And for me, the second thing, because the first thing is, well, first of all, I'm giving up my family, my husband, and the second thing is, wait a minute, he's my best friend. Like Richard really is my best friend. Now I have a female's best friend, and she's the bomb.com.
Right.
But I'm telling you, he trumps any best friend I have.
Absolutely.
It's like I don't want to give that up.
I'm about ready to bust a grape. See a grown man cry.
I didn't want to give that up.
Right.
Because I don't know. It didn't seem right to me.
That's interesting, Mia, too, because you said you the best friend piece, right? And that's and you at least for Leslie and I've been together. We've been together 35 and a half years. We've been married of that 35 and a half years. We've been married 33, and I'm looking back over the couples that we know of that got separated. That friendship piece wasn't as tight.
Wasn't as tight.
You know. So,
and for people people who are watching this, and some people may have experienced divorce or may have experienced separation or could be contemplating that now. What I find is it takes both people.
It does.
It takes both people to be committed because even though, like, just like the whole Kobe analogy, I know we keep going back to that, but someone asked us this years ago. One young lady in our church back in Philadelphia was doing something for school, and she interviewed us. And part of her interview was, "What makes you stay married, or what makes your marriage good, or something like that." And I told her, for me, I have my own personal relationship with God that George benefits from. He's just a benefit of my relationship with God. My commitment to him, me staying faithful to him, me not stepping out on him, has nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with him. It has all to do with me and my relationship with God, and me and my commitment to God first, and him second. And so what I find is that some people can feel some type of way when their marriage didn't work, but it takes two people.
It does.
It takes two people. He has to be as committed as I am.
I do. What's that song? It takes two to make a thing go right. That's the
all right.
It takes two to make it out of sight, right? It's the truth. It's the truth.
You see me do the dance. It goes with. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it
does. So it's a double commitment.
It's a double commitment. And I remember just staying along that vein that somebody did ask us to as well. Like, oh yeah, how do you guys do it? And we talk about putting in the work, right? And it's like, for me, we have the mindset and posture of a give and give relationship. Instead of, have you ever heard people say that adage, give and take, right? We don't subscribe to that. We subscribe to a give and give because the law of reciprocity, the law of sowing and reaping says that if I give, I receive. And when I receive in abundance. But the problem with the give and take theory or mindset is that, okay, somebody's giving, somebody's taking, and then then where does it start? I've noticed the gap between the person that keeps giving and the person that keeps taking, and that is not a sustainable system.
Because the giver is not receiving.
The giver is not receiving,
Mm-hmm.
and the taker is not giving.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we subscribe to the mindset of a give and give relationship. I'm going to give my very best to her. She gives her very best to me, and as a result, both of us win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Because you're right. If you have that give and take mentality, and I'm the giver, eventually I'm looking for the taker to give back.
Yeah.
And when the taker isn't giving back, at least in a level that I'm measuring how I'm giving it, then that's a temptation for me to start considering other options.
Yeah.
Right?
For somebody else to give.
Yeah. And that's when you get at work. And how you doing, Mr. Williams? I know I had to happen one time, man. I was working at this job, and I wasn't even a co. I was working at an educational institution, and she wasn't even a coworker. She was a student, and she would come past my office. I'm working. She come past my office door. And, how you doing, Mr. Williams? How's your day? And she, and I kept noticing that word "day" kept dragging out. Day. And and at that time, I wasn't as connected with the knower as I am now, the inside and inward voice. I said, "Babe, what you think about?" She was like, I know what I'm going to do.
We stood in that kitchen, and I took authority over it, and I prayed her out.
She disappeared.
Was it because of the prayer or because of you knew something?
I have no idea.
It was because of the prayer.
I didn't ask questions, bro.
He came home and he said, she walked past his door and said, "Hi, Mr. Williams."
And that hit a different part. I was like, "Oh,
I said, "Oh, I know that. I know that." Yeah, I know that. That's a spirit.
But looking back on that, she couldn't give me something that I was already getting.
Yeah.
Come on.
She couldn't give me something that's already given. So, man, I love this conversation. And I saw a clip yesterday on Kobe and Shaq afterwards talking about their relationship, the championship. And they didn't call it give and take. But one thing that Shaq was talking about is what he liked about Kobe is that because of Kobe's work ethic, he said, "I knew this young guy, he got my back." Because Kobe saw that Shaq was just as hungry as he was for a championship. And it kind of bothered Kobe, and they were talking about this. One of the things that created a little bit of friction was in the offseason, Shaq said, "Man, we got our championship. I'm gonna relax." He said, "I'm eating burgers. I'm hanging out by the pool." And Kobe said, "I'm still working out 10 hours a day." And this dude's, but the point is that they talked about one was going at it for a moment of time, and the other wasn't. But ultimately they both were hungry, and so that's what I'm hearing. George and Mia, from you is that you both want this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. Wanted
it prior to, so man, it's good, man. And then that connection piece is obvious. Their connection. Let me go back to something you said earlier, Mia, I think was good. You said George benefits from your relationship with God.
That was good. That was a good nugget.
Yeah, so yeah, that's good, man. And Leslie benefits from.
Amen. I do. Yeah. I do.
All right, I made it personal. I shouldn't have done that. That's.
I do though.
Let another man. But that's good though, because one of the things that Leslie and I did before we got married is on a piece of paper we drew a triangle, and at the bottom of the triangle, her name was on one side, my name was on the other, and at the top of the triangle, we wrote God, and we knew instinctively that if we grew closer to God, automatically we would grow closer together.
Wow, that's good.
And that's what I heard, Mia, and what you said about the benefit of your relationship with God and how that works. So hey, I'm just really, we're really grateful, George and Mia, that you took some time to share some of your marriage tips, with us. We got a few minutes left. What are some things, George and Mia, that you would like people that are going to see this at some point, because it's going to be on Facebook, it's going to be on YouTube, it's going to be on Twitter. Portions of it even going to be on LinkedIn on a professional platform. People that see this at some point in the future, what are some things that you want them to know as it relates to this subject on winning in marriage?
Yeah.
I want them to know and walk away with that marriage can be easy.
True.
It can be. Both individuals have to want and have made a commitment in their mind that this is till death do them part. And when they make that commitment in their mind till death do us part, then I gotta find out while we're living to do whatever it is that I need to do, stay as creative as I need to be, think out the box as much as I need to in order to not just maintain the relationship, but to grow it and to see it just flourish to make impact on other people. Awesome. So that's what I would.
And what I would say is that I would like to speak to the professionals if I can.
That's good.
Because I deal with a lot of professionals and I unfortunately see these type of things. And for the professional that may be viewing this, I would like you to approach your marriage the same way you approach your business. We go hard for our business. We work late, long hours for our business. We work on vacation for our business. My husband knows that. My kids and my husband are like, this computer again? But we go hard for our business. We go to seminars to learn how to be better at our business. We look for connections that help us increase in our business. That same fortitude that you have for your business, you got to approach your marriage the same exact way. And your marriage really can be easy. Your marriage can be an easy partnership. Your spouse can be the best business partner you ever had in your life. If you give them that same attention and you grow them, you grow your relationship, you grow your marriage the same way you grow your business.
That's good.
Yeah. That's where a clap comes.
Oh, there's a clap coming. That's some good stuff.
Hey,
I love it. I used to watch TV shows and they have the clap. You're like,
Yeah, wait. I think we have a. Don't we have a? Okay, maybe not. Oh, that's not the wrong one. I'm having too much fun over here. But again, thank you so much, George and Mia. Thank you for sharing some time. Motivate podcast show. On the Motivate podcast show, we always say less, and we definitely believe for more. Thank you so much. We'll see you.
See you guys. Thank you.